Chrissy Hind led a protest just outside of a Parisian KFC. They smeared blood all over the windows. It was actually red paint. And Chrissy Hind was actually arrested and detained for just under an hour.
The music's my hobby, but this is, to me, is what's important in life.
She was inspired a firebombing of McDonald's. Dates back to 1989. She was at a Greenpeace conference, and somebody had asked her how was she supporting vegetarianism and furthering her views in the world. And she made a off-the-cuff comment that she had bombed a McDonald's.
The very next day, a fan went out and firebombed a McDonald's, and luckily no one was hurt, but she did have to apologize for her comment. The Spanish government actually detained a Greenpeace boat. Some of the activists had actually chained themselves to a cargo ship, and that was sort of to protest illegal logging. And I believe Chrissy Hind said the Spanish government is more interested in persecuting the protesters than the companies importing the illegal wood. There's another Chrissy Hind quote that's fabulous. She once said to a concert, "All of you hamburger-eating mother are gonna die."
I'm all for fair play. You don't eat me, I won't eat you.
And I don't think that it's a cry for attention or a publicity stunt in any way. I think this is all stuff that she's like 100% behind. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you.
Houston talks her way into trouble at number 19.
It's not right, but it's okay. I'm gonna make it anyway.
Whitney Houston is on primetime with Diane Sawyer, and Diane asks her, Whitney, what is it? Is it alcohol? Is it drugs? Is it crack? And Whitney says, no, it's not crack. Crack is cheap. Like, crack is whack. Then eventually she said that she was on all sorts of things, but definitely not crack.
Whitney Morris is a very passionate communicator. In Canada, for instance, there was an issue with hunting seals, and he stated that he will not come back to Canada until that is no longer being done.
To be vegetarian is practically the strongest political statement that you can make these days.
He calls Canada one of the most selfish and cruel nations after China. Morrissey's fans aren't the ones who are, buying seal fur or clubbing baby seals. It blows my mind that he'd still play dates in, say, the United States. They're just doing such horrible things all over the planet. He says that Bush has single-handedly turned the United States into one of the most terror-obsessed nations in the world, and he also likened border guards to Hitler's SS.
The more you ignore me, the closer I get.
Morrissey is very outspoken when it comes to certain things and very shy when it comes to others. Morrissey in the past has said that he's asexual and that his lyrics speak for themselves.
His whole back catalog of songs, half of them talk about sexual frustration, everything from the Smiths to his solo stuff, like My Love Life. A good chunk of it is all about that, so I don't think he's somebody who's asexual. My favorite Courtney Love quote is, "I used to do drugs, but don't tell anyone because it might ruin my image." This is a good censor one. "I'm the kind of girl you want to but you don't want to tell your friends afterwards." Pearl Jam were trying to keep their ticket prices in the affordable range for their fans. They wanted tickets to be under $20.
It's a rock concert!
Ticketmaster was pressuring promoters to charge a lot more for the tickets.
Some of the stands that Pearl Jam has taken one of them was animal dissection in high schools.
The PETA and Pearl Jam teamed up to have high school students send in petitions saying that they did not want to be dissecting animals in their classrooms. I think they were flooded with 50,000 calls, and they had to actually shut down the line because it was too popular.
What can you say about Gene Simmons? One of the things that he said is the biggest cause of divorce is marriage. He's been outspoken about anti-drugs, anti-drinking, and he's always said, my only drug is women and sex.
And if he actually did sleep with 400 people, as he maintains he has.
I'm the same guy right here that gets up on stage and does the show on stage and then goes back to the hotel and does your sister and the mommy too.
Who has time for drugs or alcohol? He once said that life is too short to have anything delusional notions about yourself. He's got that sort of ego and that self-importance and this puffed out chestness, but he's also really charming about it. And Gene Simmons talks, people listen. It also helps that everything he says is usually really, really...
He's been adamant that his music was quite different than Sammy Hagar's. He thinks the real success of Van Halen was when he was a member of the band.
In 2006, he was asked if Van Halen were ever going to get together and show, and he said that that would be like a NASCAR-style wreck. Rolling Stone Record Guide, in their second volume, actually called David Lee Roth the most obnoxious singer in the history of rock music.
David Lee Roth got in some conflict with his radio management team, and so they're like, you got to start appealing to the 35-year-old white male who listens to Leonard Skinner. And he's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sell out to that.
So he called his management team social retards, beige baby food sissies, and an ugly bunch of dysfunctional worms. It's like he took all of his insults from like the big book of elementary school put down. So here she is on this disco crucifix singing Live to Tell. He's using it as a statement to say, you know, look at the world and look at all the terrible things that are happening. Some people are getting upset about it, but this is Madonna. I mean, she's been in videos where she's had burning crosses in the background. Pretty. I think it wasn't so much what was said as the person who said it. We have this pretty, sweet-voiced, down-home girl.
And I think the press and the right wing wanted to make an example out of the three of us.
It's Natalie Maines, who's not known to be that vocal or political, and here she is, like, saying, down with the president.
Shut Up and Sing was a documentary that the Dixie Chicks made after those comments were made about George Bush.
It's also a line from a threatening letter that a fan or former fan sent to Natalie Maines, threatening her life after the incident in London. The video is sort of a good addition to the song, symbolic of their struggle in the public eye, and then we're unapologetic, and we're tired of being told to shut up.
One thing that jumps out about Bono is that he's a fantastic builder. He's able to take away the differences. So he can sit in front of the Pope with world leaders, or he can be in a stadium of 60,000 people, and he can connect with all of them. So how many people can do that?
I think he understands that he's influential. He understands that people see him as sort of like a god figure. When he got knighted, he wasn't allowed to be called sir, so he said, oh, that's okay, you can call me Lord of Lords or your demigodness.
No self